So in this topic video, we're talking about how I was able to quit my full-time W-2 job and how you can be able to do the same. I share videos on my documentary of journey of me being the best version of myself and hope to inspire men to be their best version of themselves as well. So if you're someone who's in the personal development phase and just want to get some inspiration on how you can be able to do it, this is the channel to be able to do so. And, as of the time of this video, man, a lot of different things have changed in my life, but I wanted to just talk about some of the positive highlights of how I made a decision to make a full transition to become a full-time entrepreneur. I'm fully 1099 now in LLC, and it's definitely been a journey in itself. So kind of to tell you my profession, I kind of talked about this in my topics in my other videos, where I actually became a life insurance agent. I became a licensed agent for different insurances and industries. And so right now, as at the time of this video, I'm actually into the Medicare space. I've been serving and helping clients in this space for the last, almost this might be my third year now into the business, but I actually was initially, been in the space of Medicare for the last 5 years since 2020. So it's been quite of a journey, honestly. This would actually be my fifth year into the business, actually. So it's been a journey. And really, I kind of fell into this because I didn't realize just how this industry was going to take me in terms of the growth that I've been able to learn through the clients that I've been able to cultivate in this space. And I finally now come to a point to really just kind of give education on someone who's looking to transition from their 9 to 5 to fully becoming a full-time entrepreneur, and writing your own check and being able to, work your own hours. I'm definitely am grateful to be in this position, and all glory to God first and foremost, but just giving you some transitional mindset because this is not my first rodeo as a businessman or entrepreneur. I've tried a lot of different things. In fact, there's a lot of things that I will be definitely sharing on this channel in hopes that it can inspire you to maybe consider what avenues to go about and maybe be able to learn from, because my mistakes can be your lessons, okay? So I'm definitely not proud to admit my faults or even my failures, because I believe if it can help someone be able to avoid some of these things, then maybe, it would be worthwhile to at least share about it, because I know that I'm not unique in my situation at all when it comes to life. But needless to say, when getting into a business, it's always good to learn the trade. Go in as an intern. When you go to college, they have things called internships where you can be able to learn a particular trade you're trying to get into before you actually become a professional and get paid for your work and experience. Well, that's kind of how I went into this space of Medicare. Initially, I wasn't trying to get into it. I actually was running a very successful online e-commerce business where, I was making some really good income, over 6 figures actually. I was making roughly about over $8,000 to $10,000 a month in revenue, and that business basically had collapsed. I was going through some tristing, and funny enough, I was going through some things with my marriage, and I made some decisions prematurely, but ultimately I got into some really bad car accidents prior to 2020, and actually the year of 2020 I got into some really bad car accidents, and it happened back to back, to where I wasn't able to lift boxes and things like that as I usually would able to. When I was selling on e-commerce, I pretty much turned my home into a warehouse. I was selling a lot of product out my house, had to hire help, had people working for me. And I got to a point where I was actually ready to move into a warehouse at some point. And I was actually working with some big time, industry e-commerce gurus who actually were in the space of, doing this type of business. I've done millions of dollars in the space. And, just things just got personally in the way. And between that and my situations I was dealing with personally, I basically got into those car accidents and kind of put a lot of things to the hope. And so I got into, was looking for a job. I was looking for at least to keep my roof over my head and just kind of keep afloat, because at that point I couldn't work and do the same thing that I was doing. But also too, I was looking at in perspective, when it comes to business, right? Whenever you're playing on somebody's backyard, they own the rules. And that's one of the things that I've learned in business when it comes to any business avenue. When you're playing on someone else's backyard, you have to play by their rules. And so in any industry. You got to learn to hustle and understand the game and understanding what it is that your niche that you're trying to get into to really learn what it is that you want to be into full time. And I really don't encourage anyone to go into anything full time until they have gotten enough experience under their belt. And that's kind of what I did with with the Medicare space of things, because I became into the space of becoming basically, in a sense, an intern working for a W-2 and learning the business. At first, initially, I was just a customer service agent for, a reputable company. And then I got the chance to, learn and understand. I was just trying to keep a paycheck over my head. Honestly, I wasn't even thinking about insurance at the time. But it got kind of prompt my interest when I had a client or a customer over the phone tell me, they was like, man, if you was my insurance agent, I'll have you for life. And then I started thinking about it. I was like, man, this is crazy. Like, maybe I should really consider getting my insurance license. And so I went ahead and studied. I went ahead and initially was like, well, I'll go ahead and look into the insurance business, but also too, I was still trying to figure out what was the next move I was going to make in terms of business, because I kind of already was in the space where I was getting frustrated with e-commerce. Ultimately, it just wasn't stable after, me having to, sit down for a couple months. And then just the fact is, like I said, the plan on the backyard, on platforms, I mean, there's good money to be made in e-commerce. And I probably will talk about that in another video. But again, you just got to understand playing by the rules. And so just the instability of that, I was looking into something more long-term that I could provide a trade that would actually be beneficial to people. As long as people are living and making babies, we'll always have a business to be served. And so that's kind of the mindset that I was having in terms of this field. And so with the life insurance aspect, I went into life insurance initially, got my life insurance license. And basically, man, I learned forward, meaning that I just failed a lot. I got into the space of just simply going into buying leads and doing a lot of those things that they tell you to do. You got to buy a bunch of leads and go and knock on doors and things like that. And at this time, I was already on my second baby, having my second child. And I learned a lot and failed a lot, and I lost a lot of money actually. And so thankfully I still had that job. And that's one of the things that I tell people, don't transition full time into your business until you actually have a measurable actual diagram of income that you can prove that you can actually take that full transition full time. A lot of times people jump ship into a new venture without any experience, any knowledge, any real plan before getting into a business, full time. And so you have to show yourself proven that can you be successful part-time before going into a business full-time, right? And that's the thing that you can really measure. So I would never encourage anybody to quit their part-time or their full-time job initially until you can be shown proven that you can be successful part-time. So that's kind of what I did. But needless to say, I was just trying to learn the trade with the industry in life insurance, and I lost my shirt basically trying to figure it out. I lost a lot of money. And that was okay, because like I said, I still had that cushion job from the W-2 from being in Medicare. Well, finally enough, Medicare had an opportunity for me to become a Medicare agent, where I can actually solicit Medicare insurance benefits to people who are Medicare enabled clients. And so I went ahead and got my license on that job. They paid for my license and my training, and I basically was able to sell for a reputable company for about that during that enrollment period for that time, and got a measly $500. And I don't even think that was all I got from all the people that I sold. I sold like over 40 people during that AP, and I thought that was pretty good. But now that I'm going back looking in, I'm just like, yo, I do that in like 2 weeks, right? Like literally, I'll sell over 20 people in a week, literally. And that's not to brag, but I give all glory to God. And it's just the learning training that I've been able to cultivate through the experience of being in that intern program, which is your job. Your job is there to help you build the skills so you can become a professional in your trade full time if you decide to start your own business. And so now with me finally, going through that position with the W-2, I finally decided, well, I want to be able to service more clients, because I always was told that if you're going to get into insurance, you want to become a broker. You want to have more options to serve more people. So I went ahead and looked them for other opportunities that was going to provide me, options to provide more coverage for more clients based on the carriers that are out here in the nation. And that's what I did. I became a licensed broker in 2023, I think, 2023. And I became a broker, man, and I loved it because now I was starting to get more knowledge and understanding. I was able to get access to more clients. I was able to do some comparison and contrasts and be able to help these clients be able to find out what's the best plan for their county. And then literally taking it into 2024, I literally just took that information and continue to still keep growing and building my knowledge base. Now, all of these companies were W-2, mind you, that I found the next brokerage company. The brokers that I became part of, they basically paid me a wage, but they also gave me little spiffs and things like that, which was cool. But I wasn't really making a lot of money, man. Like, that was the thing. Like, they was taking taxes out of my check, which one of the biggest things that you're gonna know, that when you're working for somebody and you have to pay a W-2, you gotta pay taxes. And nothing's wrong with that. It's just that you don't get all of your money up front and you can't really write anything off, which is one thing that's why you wanna be an entrepreneur and have a business, because there's so many tax breaks by being an entrepreneur versus than just having a regular W-2. So I knew in my mind I wanted to go full time into an industry where I can be able to write my own check, control my own hours, and be able to have the opportunity to serve more clients on a brokerage level. And so finally, after me kind of just, getting the transition of learning the business, there was now an opportunity where I could become my own franchise and being able to service clients, have access to be able to help clients all across the nation, and to be able to, connect and create long-term clientele and build a book of business that I can be able to share and pass on to my kids. This is really dope because, like I said, it's been a rewarding experience for me to be able to, see what it can be possible when you provide yourself a skill set that commands the respect, in the sense that you're a necessity, you're an essential. And so a lot of people won't be able to do this, honestly, and that's okay, because at the end of the day, it takes a lot of patience and skill and knowledge and understanding to really get into the space. And then you also got to have patience to deal with elderly, and so I get a lot of wisdom just on the strength of me being able to work with the elderly and hearing their experiences and learning from what they've gone through. That in itself is priceless, because what other industry where you can be able to get access to people who have been around the block longer than you and be able to get some of their experience and learn from that. And like I said in the beginning of the video, my mistakes is an opportunity for you to learn from mine. So I'm getting that same leverage from just people that have been around 3 times my age. My oldest client is 104 years old. How many people do you know are 104 years old still living, sharing, giving life advice? It's not too often that you see that, let alone someone that's above 80, So that's the thing. For us, it's such a rewarding experience, and I'm just learning things on how to take care of yourself better, figuring out what's the difference between, people who get sick often versus the people who don't get sick, and what is their regimen of lifestyle versus those who have a regimen lifestyle that creates the opportunity for them to live healthy and wealthy at their growing years. These are things that I'm learning in real time, y'all. So I'm telling you right now, this video, this channel, I believe is going to blow up just on the strength of the fact there's things that I'm getting access to from people that are living twice my age, and I can be able to share it with those of you that are in this space and spectrum to learn and grow as an individual. So my vision for this channel is to share my experiences and my learning journey in hopes that it would inspire you to become the best version of yourself. But what I would say is, first and foremost, if you take anything out of this channel, this video in particular, become an intern. Work to learn, not to earn. In the beginning, you're not going to make the most in the beginning. But as you become a professional in your space, you become an expert, a knowledge figure in your space, it will eventually command you the income that you want. The more valuable you become in your space of sector, you will become more needed and more essential, and the money that it comes with will follow. You have to focus on providing more value versus in trying to get something out of the deal. The more that you become more valuable, the more that you would make income in whatever space that you're trying to get into. And don't focus on trying to go full time in the beginning. Be okay with falling in love with the part-time of things, because if you're not successful part-time, you will not be as successful full-time. And I've seen this, I've been through this personally, And it's just an opportunity for you to really measure and see if you have what it takes to get to a point where you can be able to go into your venture full time and it's actually scalable. That's another topic that I will talk about in another master class. But in this video, I just wanted to share my journey. I'm officially a full-time entrepreneur, and man, I'm just excited for what God is doing in hopes that it would inspire you guys in the same, likely, because he is in the business of blessing his people and ultimately, most importantly, getting the glory out of it. So I'm just not taking any credit for this at all. I'm just very grateful because it's coming to a point where now clients are just coming to me. It's not even where I gotta consistently prospect and chase people down. They're just coming to me now. So I say this to say that, when you seek ye first the kingdom, all things will be added to you. And I hope that you take this as an inspiration in the hopes that, whatever your faith is in your walk, just know God is crazy about you. He loves you. And I hope that this video give you inspiration to stay in the journey of being the best version of yourself. I'll see you very soon in the next one. God bless.